When I met Jenna, she was full of life and ambition, with a passion for books and coffee that was infectious. Together, we took a leap and opened a cafe, a cozy place that quickly became a small-town favorite. I couldn't have been prouder watching her light up as customers filed in, feeling like we were building something real together. But things started changing the day Ivan walked into the cafe. He was a Serbian newcomer, and Jenna talked about him endlessly, like he was some kind of mysterious literary hero. At first I laughed it off, but as she spent more time at the cafe and less with me, my gut started whispering that something was wrong. Whenever I brought up her obvious fascination with him, she'd get defensive, accusing me of jealousy and trying to control her friendships. I felt caught between trusting her and the nagging feeling that something was deeply off. One evening I found my answer when her phone lit up with a message from Ivan. My heart sank as I read their exchanges, words that left no doubt about the depth of her betrayal. They were explicit, passionate, and even worse, Jenna seemed to relish the secrecy of it all. I felt a wave of humiliation and anger crash over me, but I knew I needed to keep my composure. Confronting her impulsively would lead nowhere. I needed a plan. Instead of letting my emotions run wild, I started gathering evidence. Screenshots, bank statements, and timestamps, anything that painted the clear picture of what she'd done. With each piece of proof I collected, I felt a strange sense of power returning. I spoke with a lawyer, carefully plotting my next steps and bracing myself for what was to come. I wanted a clean break, one that would leave no room for denial or manipulation. When the time came, I decided to serve her divorce papers publicly, right in the cafe. On a busy Saturday, I walked in and set the papers on the counter. Jenna's face fell as she realized what was happening. She stumbled over her words, pleading with me to not make a scene, but it was too late. The customers noticed, and whispers filled the room. Her double life was finally exposed, and there was no hiding from it anymore. After that day, Jenna tried everything to win me back, alternating between apologies and bitter insults. She wanted to keep the cafe, but I'd already taken steps to sever our ties. Eventually, her business suffered as word of her betrayal spread, and the cafe lost the warmth it once had. I watched her attempts to salvage it with a detached sense of finality, realizing that this was a consequence of her own choices. Moving on was hard, but slowly I started finding pieces of myself again. I took time to reconnect with friends and family, finding strength in simple things that reminded me of who I was before all of this. Trust is fragile, and Jenna shattered it completely. But her betrayal ultimately led me back to myself, showing me I had the power to move forward. I emerged from that darkness stronger, realizing that my life could still be rebuilt, one step at a time. In reclaiming my life, I found a renewed sense of freedom and a hope for what lies ahead.